go. Hello, my name is Angel Almanza, and this is my English 1301 reading final. So, for the first question, it's how has your understanding of the writing process developed over the course of the semester? So, in an essay. So, I'm gonna go for my essay in here. This one. So, in the past in high school, I would just put the sources in the same order that I found them. I didn't really care for I didn't really care looking at them. So like if one source says something and the other one says the same thing, well then, it's basically all makes sense, right? But that's high school. In the present, in my essay for this class this year, what I did was that I organized my sources by putting the ones that have an education feel to it first, and then after I put some that have to do with a different view on things like a research paper and a song. At the end, I just put a different perspective, which was a video. As you can see right here, where is it? First, the essay structures, Elizabeth Adams. The second one was how to structure your writing by Learn Higher. And after that, I put how to write your first research paper, which is a different perspective, not really an essay, it's a research paper, and how to write a love song, as you can see right here. And then at the end, I put the other perspective of basic essay structures, and it's a video on YouTube. In the future, I will apply this in the future by whenever I need to write not only an essay, but if it's something else with my career as an engineer, to remember that different views on something matter and to not confuse the audience and so that they feel different point of views on things. I also learned that sources provide different perspectives. So in the past, I would try to find sources that say the same thing, so I don't have to really explain multiple things. It could just be quick and easy and fast for me. In the present, this essay, one of the goals was to find different perspectives. While I did use some that were intended for an essay, I also got one that was about writing a love song, and another about how to write research papers, and then the other one a video. So, as I said before, the art of writing love songs, the how to write your first research paper, and the YouTube video, there are different perspectives than we're used to. Than someone from Harvard told us this is meant for university. So these just shows you it's not only about an essay, but a love song could be an essay. It's just worded differently and meant for a different purpose and reason. So get a research paper, but essays to inform, research papers to inform you about a certain specific thing that you care about. And the video, people we might not think the videos are really important, but it could be the same thing for an essay too. In the future, I'll use this in the future to make whatever I write interesting and to give the audience more of a feel of the topic of what it's saying. Give it a diverse kind of information. And also something else I learned is draft an outline first. In the past, in high school, I would never do an outline. I would just get right to the paper, and I was like, let me do this real quick, and I didn't really care for one because I just wanted to do it quick and easy. For the present, I use an outline in this essay because it made things easier to write and it helped me organize my sources in a way that made it feel easier to read. So, in the sources, in this essay, because of the outline, I was able to put things down, and it makes it easier for me, not only for me, but for my audience to it transitions well, that's what he meant. He said this over here, it makes it easier for him to understand it and easier to flow. In the future, from now, I will write an outline for any writing or even events I must plan in order to help me do things faster and more effective. Question 2, which was, how has my understanding on the research process developed over time, over this course of the semester? For this one, I will show you my theory map. So, one thing I learned was don't just use Google. In high school, I would just use Google I would just Google a source online, and I would just use it and nothing else. I would never check YouTube or a library, a book, or anything, right? Because it's high school. In the present, what I did for the theory map was that I did get three of my sources from Google. That's not all. I did get one from the school's online library, which was Art of Writing Love Songs, which is right here. Where's that? Which is right here. And and other source I got from YouTube, which is named Basic Essay Structures, which is right here. So the three I got from Google was How to Write Your First Research Paper by Elena, How to Structure Your Writing by Learn Higher, and Essay Structure by Elizabeth Abrams. In the future, for engineers, we have to keep something called a research notebook, which is where we keep all of our research every time I'm researching something. I will always keep in mind that Google is great. It can even be amazing sometimes, but there's also many ways to do stuff for your research, like a library, a book, or even YouTube. Something else I learned is how to organize them. In the past, I would just put the source in the order that I found them in. The way I found it off Google, like I said before, I would just put it in. I didn't care what order it was. It was like, if it made sense or anything, right? Present. In the theory map, I organized the source by trying to put them with the perspectives they had. The first two were more of an essay type, so they went together. The next two had different perspectives about different writings, and the last one was a video perspective. So the essay structure and learn how to structure your writing, those are more like educational. It has more like a feel to that, and they have kind of the same perspectives. And the other ones, they're not really the same, but they're different. Like how to write a love song has a different perspective than it's just for an essay. It's a love song, and it's kind of structured the same also. And how to write your first research paper, while it might seem like the same perspectives as the other ones just are for how to structure a writing, how to structure an essay, how to make it sound good. This one is that's for a research paper, which is almost the same thing as an essay, but a research paper, you put more into it, you put more like information into it. And this is by Elena Kostivnova. Yeah. In the future, for a research paper, I have for history, I am finding sources based on what they say and organize them with others that say about the same thing, but I'm also going to try to get different perspectives with it. The third thing I learned was what makes a source credible. In the past, in high school, I wouldn't care if it was good. I would just use a website, Wikipedia, or some sketchy websites to get my stuff from. I wouldn't really bother knowing what it was. So, present, for this research, you can look at the theory map and you can see that we had to research the creator of the article to make sure they were credible. For me, most of them were college professors or award winners of education. So, you can go here to the top. Elizabeth Abrams, you can tell that she is the head of the Writing Center at Harvard University. For this one, it's from the UTRGV website, so it's right from our website, from our university. Learn Higher. It's a network to help people and students learn in higher education by providing free resources. It is made for universities. This one is the authors from Yale University. And it's part of the Journal of Biology and Medicine, and also a graduate student from the School of Arts and Sciences. And I know for the radio is kind of tricky, but the CEO of this company, Jim Clark, won the 2016 International Education Award. In the future, I will keep doing this in order to make sure no one bad like criminal is in my work, to make it fully credible work. For question 3, which was, how has the understanding of writing for audience with the purpose developed over the course of the semester? So, for this one thing I learned was get to know my audience. In high school, I wouldn't care who it was for. I would just write everything the same, just trying to get through it, just trying to make it quick, like everything. So for this one, where is it? Here it is. In the present, for this essay, I got to know my audience by writing to high school students, because I was just in high school, so I know what they like and what ways to know them. So I wrote my essay in a way that makes sense to them. In the essay, I tried to give examples of me during high school. So you go here. I try starting it off by saying, ever since elementary, we're taught to write a certain way, and then go off from there. And right here, many people, myself, were taught at a young age. STAR test, kind of relatable, because people are still taking the STAR test in high school and all the way through middle school. So, in the future, getting to know your audience is important. I have an engineering paper due, and since I know it's from my professor, I know how to write it more professionally and not the way I wrote this essay. Another thing I learned was design and delivery matter. In the past, I wouldn't care about how my work looked. I just wanted to do it to pass the class, which is basically what a lot of people want to do. So, in the present, for my meme assignment, I decided, let me get the meme out really quickly. Oh, here it is, the meme. So for my meme assignment, I decided to go with the meme. The people who it's intended to, they know what it is and what it's supposed to do. So for my meme, I picked the Spider-Man meme, which is I chose it because a lot of people know my age know it. That's good about it because this meme was intended for people my age, and so they can know what's going on, and so they can relate to it more instead of something that's boring. So basically it's like it's the same person, right? So they're all pointing at each other like, oh, we're the same person. So you can see here. In the future, I saw that the way it looks or it's delivered matters to your grade and to others, and it makes you feel good about it. If you put work into it, it feels better. So putting in the work in the future works. So actually trying for something is actually enjoyable because you see other people enjoying it as much as you do. The third thing I learned is make sure to talk to your audience the way it's intended to. So in the past, my audience was always the same, so I would talk to her the same. Like I always thought, like, oh, the teacher's the audience, let me talk to her the same way that I would talk to my friend or who it's somewhere else is intended for. Excuse me. The present for my podcast. Let me get this out real quick. For my podcast, since my audience was high school students, I tried making it energetic and tried talking to them like a student, not a teacher. Tried talking to them like I was talking to a friend. So if you go here and you actually hear my podcast, you could actually, which I think you have already, you could actually see that it's the way I talk is energetic. Trying to make it fun for other people, trying to make it like, oh, it's like talking in a friendly way. So in the future, in other essays or documentaries, I'll have to make it a little interesting to the audience, the same I did. But if even if it's intended for like a teacher, I still more try to make it energetic so they could enjoy it, but like more professionally. The question number 4 was, how has my understanding of the feedback process gotten improved through the course of the semester? So the first thing I learned is learn to request feedback. So in the past, I never thought about feedback. I was like, I didn't really care what people thought of my things. I just turned it in and hope for the best, right? In the present, for my essay, I asked how to write a better essay because I didn't think I was a good enough writer, and I asked this to the teacher, Miss Bonnie Garcia, and here's her feedback she gave me. It was really helpful. She basically said, you basically said that I was a good writer and not to think like that, and I never really heard anyone tell me that before, because before I never thought I was good at writing, which I don't think I am. But it really helped me a lot knowing that you thought that it was good and you gave me tips on how to do it. So in the future, I will always request it because it really helps you out. It really helps you understand it, and if you really need help, well, it's there to help you out a lot, and I just really enjoyed it. So asking for help actually does work.